Randi Rain here, and I finally got a hold of one of these piston robots that's in need of a good refurbishing, and it's the Kamco version. So this is
Randi Robot Garage.
So the Kamco piston robot is just a Saturn robot with pistons instead of a TV screen. They're the exact same robot. This one has already been refurbished. You can see the antennas are supposed to move. This one does, but this one's kind of moves down but won't go up. So it's kind of messed up. This one also has some severe rust going on in the battery compartment. So the chrome is not looking too well on the head. A lot of people have asked me to make replacement battery doors for these guys, so I'm going to do that as well. So let's get started. So we have 2 shoulders and a crotch screw. Okay, it's going to be one of those, huh? It's going to be one of those. What I thought was going to be a pretty easy fix just turned a lot more complicated. Well, the first thing to do is to desolder all this stuff. I'm not going to desolder here because I'm going to want this off. Might as well see if I can get it off now. Okay, now this section comes off by tabs, which is one seems to already be broken. Looks like both of them are broken. Well, that was easy. There's the other tab. And now you can pull this pin. These will come out some way like that. Like that. Now we're down to here. It's a little rusty. Now I want to get the motor out, but I can stand to leave all the stuff together. So I think I'm just going to take these tabs open here and just open it enough that I can barely get this motor out and not disturb all the gears. So now this can take a bath in some CLR, and I'll have a look inside this motor. I had time to see if this motor, it doesn't sound too bad. Ugh. This battery compartment's going to need some work, but I'm not going to soak it because I'd have to take the switch off, and I'm not going to do that. But this section definitely needs to be soaked. So I'm going to take it off. Now this is just going to get some WD-40. Gonna need a lot more than that. That's pretty bad right there. It's gonna need help. Yeah, this piece here is just too far gone. I can make that easier, then I can get that better. Go ahead and take everything else apart that I want to clean. And see what's up with this head. Even this is pretty rusted. I started working on recreating this. So far I just cut a piece of brass and then I used just some metal pieces and pounding little dimples into them so far. I found out that you do have to have a cutout here because of the clasp on the battery door. I'm also going to go ahead and tin these just for better connection. And these little pieces came out nice. These are little pieces, so the arm does this mechanically, or you can just move it so it'll do that. And it's also to keep from breaking, so it needs to be a little tight, but loose enough to turn. Alright, this is all pretty much rust free, but this was pretty much gone, so I need to replace that. So, 'cause that's what mounts it to here. So I have an idea. I'm going to cut brass. Now I think I'm just going to use CA glue to start with. Now I'm going to try the baking soda method here. Baking soda and CA glue. Well, there it is. That's super strong. Just as strong as that one. Those tabs pop through and bend over. Perfect. And this gearbox has my favorite kind of mechanism in here. I call it the shark fin. You can see it right here, the little shark fin sticking up. So let me describe it. So I describe it every time. You have here a long gear, okay? And these gears, this one will move and it'll slide on this gear. This gear here is attached to the shaft. This gear next to it is idle. It just spins around it. This is the one with the shark fin on it, on the far side. This one here attached to the shaft, it has a slot halfway around. You can see the shark fin sticking through the slot right here. The tooth with the shark fin has one less tooth than this one does. So even though this gear is turning both of them, this one is turning faster than that one. So what happens is, you can see over here, there's a spring pushing this whole shaft that direction. And right now, that gear that's on here is connected down here to the gear that makes it walk. So if I spin this, you can see this one turning. Now eventually, since the gear with the shark tooth is faster than this one, the shark tooth is going to run out of slot. And when it does, it's going to be a wedge. And it's going to wedge these two apart. And it's going to make this slide and push against that spring right there. So you can see that the shark tooth is now going underneath, because that gear doesn't have a slot. It's no longer in the slot. So it pushed the gears apart. It's now moved this whole shaft over, so it's disengaging down here for the feet for it walking. And now it's going to start to engage up here. And this is the, see, it hasn't engaged just yet, but it will. And this is the one for the pistons. So if I keep spinning it, there it goes. It just engaged. And now it's moving the arm for the pistons. And then eventually it'll get all the way around where that shark fin falls back into the slot of the other one, and the spring will allow it to push back and engage again for the walking. There it goes. It's now moved back over and engaged the walking mechanism. This is also a switch that sits right here, and when it moves out to here, ends up touching that and making connection. That's what turns the lights on. So this mechanism is going to fit and lock in here, and it's going to push over those tabs. But where they push over to is broken. There should just be a slot here and a slot here for those tabs to come through. Now I thought about bending them over this way and this way, but there's issues with that too. I'm gonna just try to fix this. So I'm gonna try the CA glue and baking soda, but this time I have some black iron oxide. I'm gonna add the baking soda to that. And now I'm going to take some cling wrap and just push up there with my finger, right there, where I need to fix it. There's a slit. And that stuff is nice and hard. Flatten it out some. Time to do the other side. So now I need to put the motor back in. Alright, so here's the motor back in the gear system. You'll be able to see the shark fin in action. Okay, now for these legs. This has to go in the hole, and this has to go in the slot. Aha, gotcha. And now the rod goes through all of the holes here. Like that. And that's how that goes together. Go ahead and put in this battery terminals here. So now I can install this. Well, the chrome looks really, really good. I like that stuff. And for the arms, you have to take these little rods. They get stuck in here, and then they get stuck in here, like that. Now, the front's got to go on, and this has to make sure it hits in there. It's time to recreate the battery door that people have asked about. Now this one is the one that's come off of the Piston bot. And if you'll notice, it says made in Hong Kong. Now this came off my Action Invader robot. It's the same door. And on this one it has a sticker that says made in China. So I'm going to take the sticker off and use this one to mold. Alright, time to give this a shot. I'm using a Onyx Fast. Alright, let's try the new one out. There it is. Well, there you have it, the Piston Robot by Kamco. Let's not waste any time. Let's see it in action. Got the adjustable arms. And to answer the question, yes, his missile launchers work. Well, anyway, if you like this video, I'd appreciate if you give me a like. I want to thank these people right here. These are patrons. These are people helping me out. If you would like to become a patron, there is a link below. There's also the PayPal donation, blah, blah, blah. You know everything. That was...
Randi Robot Garage.